All right, CNT125, IP version 6 routing lab. First podcast, we configured the routers in our network. The second podcast, we took time and got all of our workstations configured. So now this podcast, we're going to start using our network and passing some traffic through. So to start off with, we're just going to do a ping between a workstation here and a workstation over here. And then we'll run a trace. And everything to this point, if everything we did to this point is correct, this should work like a champ. So what I'm going to do, just so I don't have to type all these long addresses in, I'm going to pull up the IP address of PC3 over here. I can either go here and copy it, just don't goof it up, don't delete it or anything, or I can do a command prompt and I can do an IP version 6 config and grab it this way. It's really up to you, but I would just encourage you to do the copy paste so you don't have to type long addresses. So I will grab this guy here, do a copy. And now that I have the address of PC3, we're going to come over here and we're going to ping that address. So we're going to ping PC3, this one over here. And if everything goes okay, our network should process this without any questions. And it does. Yahoo! Our ping, our IP version 6 ping from PC1 over here got processed by this router, this one, to get to this computer over here. Yay! Okay. Now, if you're having any issues, it's usually typos from us entering the addresses or typing the addresses. That's why I'm encouraging you to do some copy paste. That really cuts down on your typos. So slow down and make sure these are correct. So there's my ping to PC3. And if I wanted to, I could come over here to PC4 and get its address. I'll grab this one here. There's its address. And I'll come back over here and I'll do another ping. And this will be PC4 this time. And I get a reply from that one too. Yay! Okay. The other thing we want to do is a trace route. So I'm just going to do a trace RT. And then I'm going to plug in this address again. And we're going to trace to PC4. And you'll notice it went through this router, AAA 7501, to this router, AAB, that's this guy up here, and then it went to this node, AAC, down here. Yay! Okay, so it's showing a trace through the network, going through all of our IP version 6 routers. Once you get a successful trace, again, watch for typos. Once we get a successful trace, we want to copy that and save that. That shows me your clients are configured correctly and moving traffic between them in the network. So your routing table earlier showed me the network was functioning. This now shows me your clients are functioning. That's what that shows me. So I'm going to right-click copy this guy. I'll open up a notepad again here. Format, make plain text. I will paste that in and I will save that as, let's see here, IP version 6 trace. I think something like that I call it, IP version 6 trace.txt. That'll work. Something along those lines. Hey, look at that. That's what I called it. So now, thinking back, you gave me the routing table up here, showing me the network works. You're now giving me a trace between two computers, so it's showing me the whole network is now functioning. Now that that's functioning, let's look at some data, some IP version 6 data between these two nodes. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a sniffer up here between the two routers, just because that's really the easiest. So I'm going to click End Devices, scroll out here, grab a sniffer. I'm going to drop it up here. I'm going to disconnect this cable and plug it into here. I think I tell you Ethernet 0. I think that's what I tell you to use, Ethernet 0. Yep. And then we'll use another crossover cable from Ethernet 1 here back into this router 001. And we'll give that just a second to settle. Once that settles, let's go in and configure the sniffer that all we're seeing is IP version 6 traffic. That's all we're really interested in at this point. So we'll go to GUI, make sure 0 is the input. It's already capturing stuff. We're going to do show none, edit filters, IP version 6, and we just want to see the ping. That's all we really want to see. We just want to see some ping traffic move through. So we'll do a clear on that, and then as ping traffic comes through, it'll capture that and display it for us. So back here then, I will reissue a ping. I'll go to my command prompt, and I'll reissue a ping over here to this PC or this one. It really does not matter. So I'll come over here and grab this IP real quick. There we go. I have PC4's IP address. Now I'll come over here and I'll do a ping, paste in IP version 4, IP version 6 address of PC4, and we'll reissue the ping. So now we've sent some ping traffic through the network. So we'll come up here and check our sniffer again. And look at that, we have some IP version 6 traffic. In this case, ICMP version 6. And we'll grab one of these packets and we'll take a look. So we'll highlight it over here and we'll take a look at it over here. And what I really want you to see on this one is, let's look at the source and destination IP addresses. Here's the Ethernet header. Here is my, scroll down a little bit, IP version 6 header. The source was coming from my PC on the AAA subnet, and the destination should be the PC on the AAC subnet, which it is. And if I keep going, I will eventually see that this is an ICMP version 6 ping, echo request or echo reply, but it's an ICMP echo message, a ping message. So there is my actual ICMP version 6 traffic across my IP version 6 routed network. Yay! Okay. So now we can at least see, we'll recognize or have recognized now IP version 6 traffic or ping, IP version 6 ping traffic in our network. Alrighty, the only thing left to do, you can look at some more of those. We can even look at a trace if you wanted to, ping, whatever you want to look at that way, that's fine. But when you're done, we're going to gather the 2 router configs and your packet tracer file. So make sure you do your enable, show run. I want to make sure I get all my configs, so space, space, space. We'll come down here, we'll copy this, and we'll paste that into another text file for the 2911, format make plain text. And we'll save this guy, 2911 IP version 6 lab or something like that. Or CFG, there we go. 2911 IP version 6 config, that'll work. We'll close this guy. I'll hit save up there, just make sure I don't lose what I'm doing. Enable, show run on this one. Scroll up. Copy, put it in another text file. And this one will be 4321. IP version 6 CFG. There we go. There's that config. So I have both router configs. The only thing left, if you haven't done it already, do a file save as on your packet tracer file, like Brown IP version 6 lab or Smith IP version 6 lab, something like that, and save that to your desktop. And now I have my router configs and my packet tracer file, and you should already have your routing table and your trace that we did earlier. So make sure you gather all those up to submit. And I do have a couple quick questions here for you on IP version 6. These should hopefully be pretty easy to answer by now. Are there classes of IP version 6? Not really. We don't have class A, B, and C like we did with IP version 4 because there is so many. The first half of the address, what do we keep calling that? That's basically the network portion, or they'll call it the routing prefix. The second half would be basically the host portion or the node address. That would be the second half. And then these right here, I would take 2 seconds and look these up. I'm pretty sure your book has them, but if not, if you do a quick Google search, you'll see these prefixes mean something in IP version 6. FF02 would be something that might be worthwhile to know, thinking back to our routing lab earlier this semester. And FD00, I was using that in a very specific manner, or I should say our FD00 addresses were a very specific manner, so take a look at what those are. And those should be quick, easy answers for you. And then make sure you grab all these files and submit to the Dropbox on D2L, and that's your IP version 6 routing lab.